You know what time it is? It's time for the podcast. It's time to do it again. We do it every Wednesday and we are joined by our friends.
It's time for the podcast.
Time for the podcast. It's time to do it again. Keep on listening in because we have got a treat for you, and I wanted to rhyme, but it didn't.
I want my pizza.
You want your pizza. But we don't get it till it comes because we ordered takeaway.
We ordered pizza.
Ordered pizza online and we're waiting for it to come today.
We ordered pizza.
Pizza is the best. Better than all the rest. It's time to podcast again. Hey, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. You know what that means.
I just want my pizza.
Yeah, so do I, mate.
Hello and welcome back to the I Love Myself and I Want to Live. Is a great song by The Blackout.
Right.
However, I wish two things. One, that was a true statement in myself. And two, they were still together as a band.
Blackout was still together, yeah.
Podcast. How you been, Ryan?
Been real sad.
Oh, good.
Yeah, been real
good.
sad.
So,
Since last podcast,
we've
seen Batman vs Superman.
We have seen Batman vs.
And just to let you know, we're not going to be talking about this because we'll drone on and on.
We're not going to talk about the whole podcast.
No, but
we can deliver some points. We can
points.
deliver. We can give a brief review, deliver some points, but don't worry, we're not going to talk about the whole podcast.
If you're a massive diehard Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, or whatever fan, go see it for the sake of it. Just go and have a look. But if you're not a massive fan, don't waste your time because you will be bored. Either that or you just not have a clue what's going on.
Well, you probably won't be bored because...
yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, a lot of people have said, coming out of it, they're like, oh, it was boring and stuff like that. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Because I went in watching it, and so me and Ryan went in with two different frames of mind. Charlie and Ryan both went in with the same frame of mind of the critics have said this is terrible.
Yeah.
I, one, believe them, and two, I'm going to look out for the points that they've made and focus on those. Whereas I went in with, the critics have said this is terrible.
I'm going to see for myself.
I'm going to go in and just try and be entertained.
Yeah.
And I was picking out the points that I enjoyed about it. Number one point I enjoyed about it was I was entertained.
That's fair enough.
I found it an entertaining thing.
I think what I said was wrong then. Basically what I mean is it's a bit of a long film, and I didn't like the way it was edited together.
One thought that I had after we had said, oh, it's a bit of a long film, is the fact that it's too long of a film. I don't mind a long film. I can sit through a long film.
No.
It's too long of a film that doesn't fucking explain anything.
Yeah, it's just a slog of a badly put together movie.
It was so long, meaning like, oh, so they probably explained quite a lot. No, there's nothing going on. Well, there's nothing that they've, like, there's so many things where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
It was an hour and a half before you saw any action, and then even so, things were just like either dream sequences or poorly edited clips together that just threw you around, and then it bigs it up for a big fight, which is probably sort of the most entertaining bit to look at, but
then that's a very small part.
Exactly, yeah.
That's true.
But anyway,
that's just some thoughts about the movie film. We thought we'd get that out of the way just so that we're not droning on the entire podcast about it. But should we have a little look at the previous upload?
Go on then.
And let's see if there's been any comments.
See what shit people decided to write on our last podcast.
It was the 6th podcast.
No,
right?
this is the 7th.
It was the 6th podcast.
You're correct, but this is the 7th.
Yes, and we had some. we had a few comments. So we have Yellow Parmeter.
You commented,
and he's commented, "Fuck Charlie Parmeter."
I should have liked that.
Yeah, I liked it on
sad motherfucker.
The Real Sad Podcast
account,
account,
I see.
And also my other account.
Don't you feel privileged?
And then also the account that I actually have of my own that I used to comment with it.
Oh, right.
And, I got a reply. I got a cheeky little reply. Tiffany Torres says, RT, retweet.
Like for retweet.
Yeah, 'cause she agrees.
Do you know why that's so stupid, though?
Why is that?
Because this is YouTube and you can't retweet.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make
what?
any sense.
She just put RT. Like,
Absolutely
she could have put I agree with a full stop or a period if you're American.
No.
But no, she's put RT.
Oh, what
Idiot.
a
sick
silly.
fuck. Yeah.
But guess what else has happened? Hello Kitty Obsessed has commented.
You're missing the 96, aren't you?
96.
Backwards, that's 69.
Well.
No Wales.
There's no Wales. Okay.
Just a kitty.
Okay. So, she has commented.
Charlie! She was excited.
She put exclamation remarks.
Couple of marks.
And a big happy smiley face with a big D, with a big grin.
With a big D.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a big D.
Well, no Wales, only D's.
No, just D's, yeah.
And she said she absolutely loves. She said, I love how upset Ryan gets over the nicknames. LOL.
She said she loves it that I get upset.
She loves the fact that you get upset, and then she's laughing at you for it and all.
Alright, this is the part of the podcast where we...
This is the part where you run away.
You were almost too Scottish for the Shrek impression. Hello Kitty Obsessed, this is just you and me right now. Just time has frozen, and everyone else who's listening has just frozen, right?
Yeah,
it's just...
then.
No, it's just... That's... Shut up! You're meant to be frozen. It's just me and Hello Kitty Obsessed. 96 backwards is 69. Listen, you are on thin ice. You are walking on eggshells, Missy. And I tell you what, if I get another comment where you have the guts to say ha ha ha, I love it when Ryan gets upset or annoyed or something like that. Not only am I going to be hurt, but I'm warning you, Hello Kitty. You're going to be hurt too. And resume.
She also said, I wasn't sure what candy floss was, so I googled it.
Oh dear.
It's just cotton candy, ? Yes, it is just cotton candy. It's just what we call it because we're little boys. We're little British boys.
Little Bish boys?
Little British boys.
Little British boys.
Can I just put on record, every time we say little boy and stuff like that, there's a few other things we say. We didn't invent that. I'm putting it on record.
But there's only there's a lot that we do invent. There's a lot of bits that we make up ourselves.
There's a lot of little bits that we invent.
But when we say little bits...
I just want to put on record that, like, that is a Steve, Zaragoza and Mike Falzone sort of thing.
Our idols, the reason we started this podcast.
I was throwing it out there just in case people got confused and thought that we were the comedy geniuses.
Listen as well, I'm talking to you listening right now.
Yes.
Right, now that I've got your attention and you're listening to my voice, listen. If you're a usual follower of these podcasts and you listen to them each week and you feel like you could write a comment but you can't be bothered, or you just thought about it and you just didn't, you totally should write a comment. Even if it's to take a dig at us, it'll give us something to talk about.
Even if this is the first time you've ever heard this and you've stumbled upon it, why the fuck are you still listening to it?
Yeah.
Absolute
Idiot.
genius. Well
genius.
done. You're a good person for sticking around for how long we've been chit-chatting. We've been chit-chatting for like 8 minutes. We've been talking for a little while. And
really
you've
got
stuck
that much...
around, like, what are you on about, man?
Yeah.
That is decent. Thanks for doing that. Leave us a comment, just letting us know, like, yo.
It doesn't even have to be a question, it's just let us know what you think. But if it is a question...
Just do us a little smiley face.
If it is a question, expect us to talk about it, because we go on those comments like little boys.
She also said, I've never heard someone call it candy floss. Well, you have now.
Well, look, there's things... Look, let's just do a quick summary. For any Americans or anyone else who is interested, the equivalent to cotton candy in America over here is candy floss.
That's what we call it.
You have sidewalks, we call them pavements.
Car parks,
because
that's where you park your car.
Yeah, you call them parking lots, we call them car parks. There's so many different words.
Yeah. So
don't tell us.
Don't try and touch my dick.
Look, I'm not trying to right now. I'm just going to wait for my pizza.
Now, I should have replied on the real sad
but you replied on yours.
I didn't. I replied I thought about it and then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to reply for myself. Why not? Yeah. I can't be asked to switch account.
Sure.
I said, that's just what we call it because we are proper nutsmans.
Of course you did.
Proper nutsmans.
In case last week's podcast didn't enrage me enough as it is, you've now written down nutsmans.
I've put a spell into it and everything.
Are there any other comments?
Oh, there's one more.
Just one more.
There's my favourite comment on this video, and my favourite comment to have ever been commented on a thing before.
Ever, like period.
Ever in the universe. Ryan's shaking his head at me right now. And it's from who's this person? I'm not sure.
I don't know. You're the one reading
to
the
this
comments.
person before.
Can I take a wild guess?
Go on then.
Fucking...
It's Tiffany Torres. You're right. There you go. She says, Ryan.
Did she roll the rolls as well?
Oh yeah, she's
Ryan.
She Mexican.
She what?
That's really bad.
Mexican.
Yeah. I just realised I'm being...
Sound like you're just having a fit rather than anything. Anyway, what did Tiffany say? Or complain about, I should say.
She says, Ryan is like an astronaut.
She did not.
She did. She says, Ryan is like an astronaut, but he's a dick. He's a dickanaut. Tiffany Torres, come on down. How do you feel about that one, Ryan boy?
I feel like I've got like 2 more episodes left in me before I fucking...
Before you quit.
Before I'm out of here. Because quite frankly, I think this is just
I think you've got... So this is episode 7.
No, it's episode 7.
Episode 7. Yeah. This is the 1.
No, this is the 7th.
And this is the 7th. This is episode 7. I reckon you've got exactly... Let me do... 6?
Yeah.
6 more episodes.
So what's that? 7 plus 6?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'd say you probably got about 6 more episodes until you decide to leave.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I can pick up a new host. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. So Tiffany Torres has just slayed you. Absolutely. You've just been proper nut bagged.
Yeah, because she's got a pair of nuts. Look, this is what I have to say to that.
She has a penis.
I am not going to stoop to your level, Tiff. Thank you for your comment. It's just gone right over my head. I quite frankly don't give a shit. Okay?
Yeah.
However...
Ryan has started off this podcast like in a real bad mood.
Listen, mate. Being called a dickanaut is an offence to me. Not just because of what it means.
Yeah.
Because of how it's said. She could call me a dick and I'd be happy about it.
She call you a dickanaut and you'd be like, well, that's silly. But it's the fact that she said you're like an astronaut.
Can we go on to the next topic? That was a wet fart.
That was the last of the comments. There was no more comments on that,
so there's
on
no
that
more comments.
video.
Right, next topic. Let's bring something else up.
Let's bring something else up. So I, the other day, was having a conversation with someone and they asked me if I would, when I have a bowl of cereal, am I cereal first or am I Milkies first? Right. Milkies.
That is... one of the most, not only stupid questions, but one of the most insulting questions I've ever heard. Who in their right fucking mind would put the milk in the bowl before the cereal?
Let's just leave it for the comments for people to say, but I'm pretty sure the majority are going to say that it's cereal first, because that's obviously the way to do it. But, you got your cereals, and then you got your Milkies.
You got your milk.
You got your Milkies, and Ryan, let me tell you.
What?
Ryan,
what?
It's Milkies. Because it's like when you take your dog out and you go for walkies. Except instead of walking,
why are you doing this?
It's milk. It's milk.
It's nothing like walking a dog.
It's like walkies, but it's Milkies instead. It's milk. It's like walkies, but it's milk. Yes. So as well as my little nicknames I have for everything, Ryan also hates when I do my little hysterical laugh and then I just power him off with a good old yes on the end of it. Oh, are you feeling?
I'm not in the mood for a podcast.
He's not in the mood for.
Take me home.
I told you we should have got a coffee. We usually have coffee on the podcast, but we had it a bit earlier, and then I remembered I had to drive my mum and dad to the pub, and then so we didn't do the podcast when we had the coffee. But now, we're doing it without the coffee and Ryan's not in the moods. He's not in the moods. So, let us know.
I'm real sad and I want to die.
Are you cereals or Milkies? Which goes first?
First of all, I'm neither.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
If we're talking properly here, cereal in the bowl before the milk. Spelled M-I-L-K.
Yeah.
Not Milkies.
Yeah.
Not like walking a dog.
Yeah.
Because cereal and walking a dog are two completely different things.
Yeah, but if you say milkies, then it's like walkies, isn't it?
It is. However, the concept and the context of what you are talking about has nothing to do with what you're saying.
I completely agree with you on this one, Ryan. I just like fucking you in the ass.
You're such a cunt.
So, this is the 7th episode, and I was thinking, right?
Okay.
That's 7. How many days in a week is there?
I don't know. Let me get back to you on that one.
And?
Hang on, I'm waiting to get back. Hang on. Just give it a little bit of time. It's about 7 days, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's about 7 days in the week, and this is the 7th podcast. So we've got... Shh.
Oh, I wasn't going to interrupt. I was just going to talk over you.
Oh, yeah. So, we've got... If you think about it, in this term, right? We upload these one a week. One a week.
Wow.
But now they're all there, you can choose to listen to them whenever you want. Whenever you want. So we could potentially have a week's worth of podcasts. If you chose, start Monday and listen to one a day for a week, you'd have a week's worth of podcasts. Good math there, isn't it?
Of what? That sounds like a dessert. A podcast. Okay, so nice theory.
Yeah.
What the fuck happens when episode 8 comes out?
Well then it's not a week's worth. Then it's a week and a day. So.
But no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, well then why'd you ask me? If you knew the answer...
No, you're just...
If you knew the answer, why'd you ask?
So what I'm saying is like...
Yeah.
Is like... Okay.
Brian is really not in the mood for this podcast. Oh, my poor baby boy. He's a little baby boy.
You know, most of the time I'm like, no, you know what? I've got a point and I'm going to defend my case. I've not got the fucking energy today.
He's lost the plot. So Batman vs Superman.
No, I'm not talking about it anymore.
So 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh mate, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That was a good film. You saw that again recently.
Seen
didn't
it
you?
twice now. Loved it just
Did you
as much.
pick up on anything new?
Because
I've only seen it once.
I'm trying to think because I feel like I did, but I can't remember right now.
No spoils. But...
No spoils. Well, Donald Trump shows up at the end.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Donald D.
It's Donald T.
Donald D.
No, it's Donald T. Donald Trump.
Donald Duck. Duckers. It's Nigel Duckers, mate.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, we'll tell you about Nigel Duckers.
Basically, in a nutshell, 10 Cloverfield Lane is awesome. You should go see it.
It is a good film.
Bit of a different film.
Because we didn't talk about it. We said we were going to go see it.
That's
We didn't
true,
actually talk about it on the podcast. Because we were going to, and then we had Charlie on, so then everything sort of got a bit changed up.
From a story point of view, like writing aspect, I think that is way better than the Batman vs Superman.
Oh, obviously, yeah, definitely.
Visually, Batman vs Superman is
it's cool. It's got awesome visuals.
But 10 Cloverfield Lane is a totally different movie.
Yeah.
So you can't even begin to compare them.
Yeah.
Besides,
so why did you?
I'm just saying what I appreciated in both of them.
Should we go get some coffee in ya? And you'll not be upset anymore.
I'm fine. I'm all good. I'm all good.
So last night I went and saw Crossfaith.
Yeah.
That was
another
decent.
great film.
It's not a film, right?
Oh, is it not?
It's a band.
Oh, it's a band.
No, I've been talking about it all day to you. I've been nattering your ear off.
Nattering my ear off.
And
what have I done? Listen to you.
Yeah, you've listened to every second of me, and I love it. I've realised there's another point. I'm turning into my dad. You know when we sit in the car and I put on some music and I tell you every fucking fact I know about the band who's on?
Oh yeah.
That's my dad. I'm doing what my dad does in the car.
Man.
He'll put on some music or whatever's on. He knows almost every fucking song on the radio because he just knows everything. He's just got a head full of facts.
As Charlie would say, knowledge.
He's got knowledge.
Where the fuck did that come from in the last podcast?
I don't know.
You and I were talking.
He said it was on some advert.
And in the background, he just goes,
I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know what he was talking about, but he's a scumbag. So
that's an understatement.
Yeah, I'm literally turning into my dad because I'll sit in the car with you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you every single fact I know about a certain band that's playing at the time.
Your dad's bald, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that.
We'll leave that bit out of it. That's the bit I'm leaving behind. Okay. I'm getting skipped on that
Also,
bit.
this podcast might lack burps because I'm not drinking anything.
Oh yeah, you're not a burpy boy. That's right, I can surely make up for it.
Yeah. I mean, I would fart, but I don't want to follow through.
No.
And
But if you do follow through,
stick my
be
fingers down
sure
my
to
mouth.
stick. Yeah,
Got it.
definitely.
No,
Go
no
for
worries.
it.
That's a given.
You wouldn't
That's
want
no
to
worries.
upset people. You don't
Teenage
want
Mutant Ninja
people-
Turtles.
Oh yeah.
What's your favourite one?
I don't know. I used to really like the purple one.
Donatello.
Donatello. I
Donis.
used to really like the purple one.
He's my favourite. Donatello's my favourite.
So I guess I'll go with him.
No, he was my favourite.
Well, he's mine now and all.
So what about mine?
Well, he always has been mine, but then I had a little thought for a second there where I was like, I'm not sure, and then you just confirmed for me.
In the comments below, tell me your favourite.
Who's your favourite
Turtle.
Ninja Turtle?
Who's your favourite turtle?
Who's your favourite turtle? Yeah, that's all we got. That's all we got.
Anyway, that's all we got time
today.
for today. So thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, we'll
remember the sponsors that
we'll catch
that
you in
brought
the
this
next one.
podcast?
Oh no, I was talking about Crossfaith, wasn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's me and Charlie.
To him last night. Yeah, it was last night.
Basically, why I wanted to bring this up, well, what I wanted to mention about it was, well, one point was that last time I said on the podcast that the next band I was going to see was Bring Me the Horizon again. Cause, it's this month because it's April now. That's later this month. But me and Charlie have randomly been really spontaneous with gigs.
And just going to
and we knew that Crossfaith were playing and we were like, oh, I won't bother, we've seen them before and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we were both just like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's not expensive, it's only 15
Plus,
quid.
you know you love them, so...
Yeah, exactly. And then we were like, you know what, yes,
mate.
I will go. And that's what I've decided. When I was on the train there, I thought to myself, me and Ryan have both got to do this.
Okay.
We've got to become, get ready to get real sad. We've got to become...
I am real sad.
Yes-mans. That's why he's sad.
Do you know what?
Yes
and this is... I'm going to get real serious here. Like, forget... You put stupid, ridiculous...
Oh, no, I'm incorporating both of them, but this is a serious point. I thought
So, with the whole yes man thing, right?
Yeah.
If ever you're real sad,
Yeah.
start saying yes.
Yeah.
And even if you think your life's going to be shit,
Yeah.
say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Just see where it takes you.
You just got because with the gig as an example, we were like, yeah, we weren't going to bother, you know, and then Charlie was like, actually, should we? And I was like, you know what? Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
And I was so glad that we did because it was an amazing night. All three bands that played, so it was Crossfaith, and then they had support from the 100, and I think they're called the Chemists. I've heard the 100 before, and I saw them support Crossfaith before when I saw them a few years ago, or a year ago, or whenever it was, and so I knew that the 100 were pretty good, and then this other band that were playing also turned out to be amazing.
And you showed them to me earlier, and
I
really like the sound of them.
I was actually thinking, I was like, well, whilst I was there, I was like, Ryan will quite like these, I reckon. So, and it turned out to be an amazing night. I got a guitar pick as well,
Oh, yeah.
bass pick.
Who was it
I didn't
from?
mention that. Did I mention it to you?
Yeah, I've seen it in your Snapchat story,
yeah.
but I didn't know who it was from.
Yeah. So it was, the bass player.
Of Crossfaith.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
nice.
me and him are mates. We're on a first name basis because...
Are you really?
Well, they played the Peel.
Yeah.
And which is a venue that was near us, but it's no longer a venue anymore. Well, it's the place is, I don't know if it got sold or taken down or something. But they played a venue that was really close to us, and they were doing a signing in the record store near us as well of that day. And I'd seen them before then as well. And the bass player saw me and he was like, "Hey, I remember you," in a Japanese accent because they are Japanese. They're a Japanese band. But I'm not going to attempt to do a Japanese
totally not.
because that would just come across
Exactly.
100% racist.
Who's this?
Oh, here she is.
Charlie Boy's back on the
we've
podcast.
We've got a little.
Put him on the bed so that
we've got our Domino
You can
pizza.
basically just divide that between you two.
Have you got yours?
I'll put it on
You
the.
sure?
Oh, you got yours.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, cool.
Guys, this is
That
the
was our
first
delivery
podcast
boy.
brought to you by Domino's, the pizza that just arrives on time.
Ooh,
Oh,
look at
don't want that, mate. Don't want that. That
No.
doesn't look good.
No.
And what's in this one? Oh, don't want that. No.
Oh no. Okay, take him back, boy. Come on, come back. Take him back. We don't want him.
left a garlic and herb.
Oh, he's
you want
gone
that?
after. I'll have it.
I mean, I like it, so you could have asked me if I wanted
Oh,
it.
well, what did you ask me
Because I
then?
was being nice. and
Well, yeah, Charlie just delivered us pizza. Isn't that nice of him?
polite. He is. Do you know what he didn't do, though?
What?
Didn't sit down and have a word with us.
No, he
because
didn't.
You know what? I said to you last week, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I've got to apologise. I remember saying, next week we're going to do something refreshing. It's going to be completely
Oh,
Charlie
shit,
free.
yeah.
I've just fucked that up, haven't I?
Well, Charlie was back in this one just briefly just now. Oh, well, ruined.
Everyone, the morale has just plummeted.
Well-
no one's like, yeah, I've got some pizza if you
We
want.
got some pizza. So as I was saying,
Should we have one of these each?
I got a bass pick last night.
Oh,
so that was
yeah.
cool. Oh, no, that was it. Me and Hero are friends. The bass player's called Hero.
Oh, cool. Like
and-
Hiro, I'm guessing.
Hiro, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Hiroki, but they
right.
shortens it to Hero. And so I saw him at the meet and greet or the signing or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, I remember you from last time." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." And then the reason why we're on first name basis is because after the show, they were like hanging out with everyone, taking pictures of people and talking to people, and my friend Nathan. That like very sillily,
Yeah. That's a nice little similes.
said would speak to him and he was like, "Oh, let's get a picture." Didn't have a camera on him.
Oh right.
He was like, "Oh, let's get a picture."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh wait, shit, I don't have a camera on me." And then he was like, "Oh, Billy's got a camera." So then the bass player was going, Billy, where are you, Billy?" To find me so I could take a picture with them or for them. So yeah, we're best mates now, and I got his pick last night at the show.
Do you know what I find funny though, that whole story?
Yeah.
You said we're on a first name basis.
Yeah, I know.
But he's the bassist.
Yeah.
And you're a little bit racist.
Well,
No, there's no way.
everyone's a little bit racist.
Sometimes.
But as I'm saying,
Yeah, mate.
the points
Good to meet you.
is we're shaking hands, left hands, because Ryan's left-handed. Be a yes-man. Be a yes-man.
And that's exactly
and
the
it's
thing.
like, just do shit. I was thinking about this
Yeah.
when I was on the train, and I was just looking out the window, and I was just looking at just whatever was out
What
the
was
window,
there, yeah.
and I was like, all of this shit just looks cool. It just looks good. It looks beautiful. And I was like, I want to see more beautiful things.
Yeah. I can pull my pants down.
Well,
Oh, look, talking about being a
and-
yes man.
Yeah.
Ask me if I want to be a yes man.
Do you want to be a yes man?
No.
Well.
How does that work though?
Well then you're gonna get real sad real quick, and then you can start a podcast, and then you're gonna become a little yes man. Yeah.
You have a little fit then. You had a seizure.
But
But
basically, on the train, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna start saying yes to all this shit, and I've said yes, and it's like, you know what? If you're thinking, don't stop worrying.
Stop
about
whinging
shit.
about it.
Stop worrying
Stop
about
being
shit.
a
You're
fucking
worrying
crybaby.
you're worrying like, oh, I don't have enough money to get there,
yeah.
or you don't have
Figure
way
it
getting
out.
there. Walk. Fucking walk.
Fucking walk to
Just
London,
do it.
mate. Walk to
do
London.
it. You can do.
You
It's gonna
can.
take you a long time.
It'll take you a
but
couple of
you
weeks.
could do it.
But you can do it.
Say yes, just do it.
Yeah.
You're worried about like, oh, I'm going to be tired, or I'm not going to feel up for it. Who gives a shit? Whilst
Yeah.
you're there, you're going to enjoy yourself.
Talking about giving a shit.
Yeah.
Talking about being a yes man.
Yeah.
Put your fingers down your throat.
Yeah. Just do stuff.
This is completely off topic.
Yeah. Go on then.
Kind of not. But I have a dream.
Mm-hmm.
If this podcast ever makes it, just in
Yeah.
general, if it ever makes it, I want us to have T-shirts
Yeah.
with like some sort of illustration of like a mouth open with two fingers in the opening of the mouth, and at the
But it
top,
looks-
and at the top it says "Bazoik."
But it looks like someone. It could be a mix between the fact that you've got this dumb thing about
Yeah,
sticking
This
your fingers out your throat
stupid
and
story.
shitting out your mouth.
yeah, yeah.
But it could also look like someone's got a gun in
in
their
the
mouth,
mouth. And
so it
that's
can get
like
real
real
sad
sad,
and real
yeah.
dark.
Yeah,
And that's that. So,
dude, T-shirt idea.
T-shirt ideas. If anyone can do illustrations for us,
You need to get your, you get your
I can't do
shit sorted out.
I can't do the words and
The words.
the
Sometimes it's important to get your words out right.
Sometimes it's important to get the pizza inside you.
Yeah, should we do that?
Should we start munching on some pizza?
I don't like peppers.
Oh, has he got peppers?
So you have those two, and I'll have this whole pizza.
Man, it's got barbecue and like, who wants
know.
that? Charlie knows how to ruin a party. Charlie goes to us. Let's bitch about him now.
Yeah.
He goes to us. Oh, do you guys want Domino's? I'm gonna get Domino's. Goes on at us like that, and we're like, okay, sure. He goes has a nap, and then he wakes up and he's like, oh, do you still want Domino's? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Order it then.
And then he started fucking whinging about it, like, oh, there's no deals on.
If you shout loud enough, he might come back in here.
Oh, he's like, oh, there's no fucking deals on, and
Take a slice. Take a slicey Weiss, as you would say.
yeah. He's like, oh, there's no deals on, and then he's like, oh, I want barbecue. Oh, you guys won't eat the barbecue one, will you? And all this and stuff. I'm like, fucking, look, you're the one who asked us if we wanted Domino.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, don't
On
yell at us.
a scale of 1 to angry, how angry does your brother make you?
6,000. Over 9,000, in fact.
Oh, right.
So, let's have it all.
That's disgusting.
I'm the one who's going to have to go and listen to that editing it. Yeah, we've said also to Bullet for My Valentine are playing later this year. And then we saw the Kill Switch Engage, we're going to be supporting them.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, yes, why not?
Let's do it.
And that was another yes-man-ness. I had this whole massive speech I was thinking about yesterday when I was on the train about being a yes man and saying
really
yes
inspirational
to stuff, and
and
just
everything.
doing it and just doing things and going for it.
And it just sounded like,
And
oh shit.
now there's not
Nothing there.
nothing there in my head anymore.
Well, the good thing is, Charlotte.
Did you just call me
The
Charlie?
good thing is, Billy.
Did you hold on? Let's backtrack 1 second. Now go.
Okay. The thing is, this pizza's pretty good actually. No one gives a shit about what you have to say anyway.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter.
that's a good point actually. If I'm honest.
You could lie about it. You don't have to be honest.
Okay, well then I disagree.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think people really want to hear what I have to say.
Mm.
How about that? Leave me a comment down below if you want to hear what I have to say.
Do you eat the crusts on your pizza?
Leave a comment down below if you want to hear what Ryan has to say.
Yeah.
No, we don't. But do you eat crusts on your pizza?
Yes, man.
I do until I get too full, and then I start leaving them off.
Right.
So I eat them, and then I start getting a bit full. So I'm like, oh, I've got to make room for like the full pizza, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll leave off the crust.
I'm someone who...
And then
I
you
count eating
force it.
pizza as the crust and all. So even if I can't eat any more than 3 slices of pizza, I'll eat the crust as well.
You got to have it.
Yeah.
Well,
How unprofessional are we right now?
look, I think we should end the podcast and we should just eat this pizza. Like, I'm so
How
happy.
far through the podcast are we?
We're halfway.
Ah, fuck it. They'll cope with that.
It's a mini episode. It's fine.
It's
Maybe
fun.
we should bring a special on
Maybe we should bring a speech
impediment.
person in to help you out with your words. Or lack of. Yeah? How do you feel about that?
Well,
My flies are
I just
undone.
stuck almost a whole slice in my mouth. I told you to do them up earlier.
No, you didn't.
After we finished.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
You did not. You didn't, did you?
I'm telling
I
Porkies.
was going to say. By the way, for any of you who don't realise, the last 5 podcasts where Billy says porkies is because over here in England, there's a phrase, you're telling porky
You're
pies,
telling porky
which is
pies.
like rhyming slang for lies. So
Yeah.
he's lying. And Billy takes that and
Yeah.
makes it into
So
his
it's
own
another
thing.
nickname that I've given a phrase.
Yeah.
And so once again, I've not just given it one. You're telling Porkies, you're also porcupine me.
Yeah.
Porcupine me. You are. What kind of... Oh, it's a pork pie, innit?
Yeah, and we're not talking about porcupines, like porcupine, like the animal.
Porcupine.
We're talking about pork pies.
He's telling Porkies. Porky pies. So, he's lying to me, basically.
Basic me.
But
You
I
really need a
honestly can't fucking
You
speak.
need a good sleep.
This is why I could never do, like, a...
Radio show.
Well, yeah, radio show. Also, because I like to say cunt.
I'll tell you what, life advice for you. Stick away from anything like radio, podcasts, anything like that.
Oh, God,
Just
yeah.
to make sure that, you know,
Yeah.
so no one else has to listen about
No,
how
like,
bad you are.
videos or
No.
me talking.
Imagine if you had like your own YouTube channel.
Imagine if, like, I spoke into a camera every day for almost 2 years.
Wow.
Imagine if I had done that at some point in my life. That would be awful, wouldn't it?
What a regret.
What a regret. Oh, it hasn't happened. Oh, no, shit. It might
Oh
have.
shit, that actually might
It
have.
might
Yeah.
have hip hop happened. Yeah.
That, can we just say that was the world's worst product placement for your YouTube channel.
Self plugging right there.
Yeah.
Not that I want people to go back and watch those because they were horrendous.
They're all shit.
I want people to watch my new shit.
Mm.
That's better until a few months' time, and then I'm like, oh no, none of that now, thanks.
Yeah. Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Riddlesby, you're just reading off of a mug now.
I'm hungry as shit.
Yeah. It was a bad idea, wasn't it?
It was a really bad idea.
Yeah, this is...
This podcast might never make it out to the world.
Should we kill a man?
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
We can kill Charlie and then he... Oh no, he's got rubbish pizza, hasn't he?
He's got shit pizza.
Mm.
His pizza is like the equivalent of... And that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
This is fucking awful. This is terrible. Whose idea was it to start the podcast when the pizza was on order?
Probably mine.
You know what we need to do then?
What?
To keep us talking.
Yeah.
We need a little guesty goo
We might need a little guesty go.
to get us going.
This isn't an official guest slot.
Not a proper guest.
This is a little bit. We're going to have a bit. Let's get our bit out in a bit.
Get our bit out.
I'm going to try a bit of this pizza.
Oh dear. Basically,
is
guys,
like-
what Billy's saying is
It's got
one of
some
our
sausage
favourite,
thing on it.
one of our fans goes by the name of Tiffany Torres.
Who commented a very nice comment earlier.
Oh man, I've got to be careful not to talk about that. We're going to FaceTime someone, one of our fans. Right? If you're a fan, you could also be doing this as well. The reason we're doing it for Tiffany is because we hate her.
Well, that's rude.
I know, that was the point. That's why I said it.
Look.
She'll have no
Let's-
idea that I said that though.
Well, no. Not at all, because we haven't faced her time yet.
You're alright, mate. You're having an aneurysm. We haven't faced her time yet.
We haven't faced her time yet, unfortunately.
I remember back in the day, I used to face my time all the time.
I did my time and I want out.
Yeah.
Anyone know the song? Let me know in the comments.
That's Linky Park, isn't it?
No.
Coming up next summer. Imagine if you saw an advert advertising something that's coming out next summer, and it was like it says coming up, and you expect it to say coming up next is the program you've been wanting to see all night. It's like coming up next summer. I'd be like, what? Right.
I'm so done with this podcast. I just want to eat pizza.
That's not very nice.
Well,
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, it's
oh, this is
connecting.
fucking awful.
Sorry, Tiffany can't come to the phone right now. Either I'm at fucking Wiener Schnitzel or you're fucking blocked.
And you're live on the Real Sad podcast.
Aww.
How you doing?
I'm doing so well.
So well.
Did you
I'm
say?
doing fucking
Did you say so well or swell?
so well?
Well,
That's the same. Like that's. We need to ask you the same question again.
Hold on, look at
you're
my
on the
knee.
podcast.
Tiff,
This is.
you got to be professional. You're actually on the podcast.
I'm
right
gonna
now.
let you know.
I had to be professional.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know.
You guys are never professional.
I'm gonna let you know right now that we've got you on this podcast right now, and
All right.
unfortunately, so far, this is the worst episode of the podcast that's ever
You fucking
happened.
ass.
We're sat here eating pizza. We're not even talking about anything. We're just munching on pizza. So we've had to pull you out to like save it basically. So you've got to give us some good topics of conversation.
You're our last resort.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna get mad at you because oh my god, I mentioned that I wanted pizza earlier. I went and got coffee and I got cheesecake because you guys were eating coffee and cheesecake, and then I was like, hey, I want pizza. Now you guys have pizza?
Well, then you got to go get your pizza, ain't you?
That is not fair. No, I don't want to drive.
Well, drive on the
Well.
podcast. You listen to this podcast in your car. You can now
Yeah.
be on the podcast in your car.
In my car.
That's
And
Inception.
then you guys are gonna. It's just legit. It's just gonna be about eating. This could be an eating segment or something. Cause you guys are
Yeah,
just
this is the
eating.
podcast about. This one's all about eating shit because that's all we're doing.
I love eating shit.
Oh,
Especially
Ryan.
out of a boot.
Yeah.
Look,
You guys are horrible. So what? How long are you guys in right now?
We are We're 40 minutes in, and it's just been
Oh my
us.
goodness.
Like we've had no decent points made. You know how we like to make a good old point. We like to have a good old laugh. We've literally come into this. Ryan's just been in a terrible mood, and then
I wasn't
and then a
here, he's
pizza
missing
turned
Bernie.
up, and now we're eating pizza, and we're not even talking about anything. We're just munching.
It's because Ryan misses me.
Yeah.
No, I don't, mate. Not after your fucking comment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did you see it? Did you read it?
Yeah, we read that out.
Yeah, live on the podcast.
I'm surprised you didn't notice it sooner.
No.
I was gonna bring it up earlier, but Billy told me not to. We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
surprise you.
The only thing I'll be bringing
We
up tonight is
planned
my
this.
shit.
How did you feel about that, Ryan?
I've already explained that I just think it's stupid. It's not accurate, but I don't give a shit.
Wait, Ryan, what about what we were talking about yesterday? We had like so many good points on Periscope yesterday, and now you have nothing.
I have absolutely nothing.
We have nothing. I had a good. We were talking about this a second ago. About how I had this massive long speech I was going to go on about when I was on the train yesterday. I've come here. I'm sat at the podcast, and like nothing's come out.
That's what she said.
Did you
Well,
guys even sing at the beginning so I could rock out of my car?
oh yeah, we definitely sung.
Oh,
Not a very good song.
because that's the only thing I care about. Too.
That's the only thing you care about, right? You need to hang up on her right now.
Well,
No!
bye, bye, bye.
Bye bye now.
Aww.
Did you actually hang up?
Yeah, I hung up on
Oh
her.
no!
No, call her back. Call her back.
Okay.
That was Tiffany Torres.
By the way, remember that this is a podcast. We should probably explain what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, we are talking to a number one fan. Basically.
Not pissed off.
You've won a free ticket to the Real Sad Land, based in North Korea, where you can be entertained by people.
I was about to message Ryan right now and call him a nutsman.
Wow! Everyone on
call
the
him that right now. Live.
everyone on the podcast would know how much that would upset me. So well done.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Guess it's still
and
hasn't
people
finished
love
their
it when
cheesecake.
Ryan's upset.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, she's still got some cheesecake left. Well, so do we.
Yeah, we've
Oh
not
my
finished
God,
our
like, she
cheesecake.
like the same amount. I'm really mad.
Look, Tiff, this is a podcast. Remember, you're going to be listening to this back in the future.
What do you want to tell yourself?
What do you want to talk to
I'm gonna
yourself
show
about?
my kids this podcast. I'll be like, I used to have friends in England.
Don't
no,
do
we're
that.
still gonna be friends.
Don't do
I'll be
that.
Like, you know, I'll be like, you know, your uncle Billy and Ryan, your uncles.
Listen, Tiff, we tried doing a child-friendly segment last podcast. It didn't turn out all right. I really don't suggest showing this to your kids. If you want to, that's fine, but just let them know that they're fucking awful.
Well, what are our kids going to be like?
What are our kids going to be? I don't want kids.
No,
they're
so
gonna
no,
be
not you.
like, why are we even talking to these strangers? I'd be like, because I love them. I'm their biggest fan.
Tiff,
The end.
Tiff, what do you have to say for yourself in terms of like how much of a fan you are for this podcast? Do you actually like it, or are you just doing it because you've just got nothing else to do?
Probably a bit.
TV
Both.
has got nothing else to do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we've got time for this
Just kidding.
podcast.
I have t-shirts.
You have t-shirts.
We don't even have t-shirts.
We don't even have t-shirts. She has t-shirts.
I
Look.
didn't make a t-shirt.
Well, that's funny you say that because literally about 10-15 minutes ago we were talking about t-shirts on this podcast.
Oh yeah, we were saying that we wanted
Dude,
designs.
I'm gonna like print out pictures of your guys' faces, and then I'm gonna just like put them on my shirt.
I mean, that's kind of like what we were going for, but you'll hear back in the podcast what we were actually talking about. You'll
I'm
you'll
gonna
hear
put my
everything.
face on a t-shirt.
I mean, that won't sell at all. Guys, you're lucky this is just an audio podcast.
You're so mean.
I know, and this is the Real Sad podcast. Now, guys, every
I'm
time
real sad.
every time we have a guest on, what do? We do a challenge, but
Yeah,
Tiff's not a
brilliant.
guest, so there's no challenge today. She's just a feature.
Yeah,
It's just something to kill the time with because we had nothing to talk about.
I just
Well
got
then,
cramp
bye.
in my
Guess I'll
foot.
go.
Okay, that's fine. But Tiff, you do know that. Yeah, she hung up.
She hung up on us.
Fair play to that. Fair play to that.
What a nut, oh.
How many pieces of pizza have you had?
I've had 2 of that now.
Oh, okay, and how many of that? Oh, is that?
1 of that. We wouldn't have another one. That was awful.
I think this is my.
Let us know, do you get barbecue on your pizza? Because I hate it.
I think this is even my 3rd or 4th piece.
Right.
I've been munching away.
Yeah, you have been, haven't you?
So you
On
have
the
those
podcast.
two.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright, mate. This
Nice and
pizza-
professional.
Yeah, this is someone else, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is because I just got a tweet. We just got a tweet on the Real Sad podcast from Tiffany Torres.
Who's that?
She just says blocked
Oh, okay.
in capitals. So we've been blocked by Tiffany Torres on the Real Sad podcast Twitter, which you can find us at on Real Sad podcast at the Real Sad podcast at the I'm Real Sad and I Don't Want to Be Alive Anymore Epicadused. What?
Podcast.
So, last episode was debatably the best episode of the podcast.
Plummeted today.
Today, it's just been, it's one of those ones. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
That's when you've got to ask yourself, if you need
we
to
weren't
shit,
ready for it.
if you need to shit,
Have a shit.
have a shit. If you don't,
If you don't,
Last week, we needed to shit.
we needed it.
Today, we're just trying to force
We're
whatever's
forced, yeah. This time, we're trying to force it up out of our mouths.
out. Yeah, that's lovely whilst I'm eating pizza.
And this, it's just, it happens.
In the comments below, don't comment.
In the comments below, just give us, you know what, in the comments below, give us more topics to talk about. Because I feel that's where we're lacking. We keep hitting record and going off on ones, and that's worked so far. But this right now has just shown us.
I'm starting to realise though, the more we talk about and acknowledge how shit we are,
Yeah.
the more people are going to drop like flies. They
Yeah,
don't
because
want to hear
people are
that.
going to be like, oh yeah,
So cut the shit.
start
the pit.
Cut the shit. Start the pit. Cut the shit. Start the pit. Cut the shit. Start the pit.
One time I cut the shit and I
Cut the
start the
shit.
pit. One
Start
time
the
I
pit.
cut my shit and start the pit.
Cut the shit.
Cut your armpits.
Cut the shit.
Cut your shit.
Cut the shit.
Start the pit.
Cut the shit.
My armpits are hairy.
Cut the shit.
So
Start
hairy that
the
they're
pit.
leery.
Cut the shit.
I'm the fairy
Start
godmother.
pit. Cut the shit.
Body Yoda
Start
like a
the
smell
pit.
like
Cut
Yoda.
the shit.
Oh my
Start
God,
the
I'm
pit. Cut the shit.
trying to think of
Start
words.
the pit. Cut the shit.
To go in time
Start
with
the pit.
Billy.
Cut the shit.
Start the shit. Cut the pit.
Start the
shit.
pit. Cut the shit. Start the pit. This is something for your people on the
Shh.
block to black out and rock to. Give you what you need like Papa who shut ya. Separate the weak from the obsolete to make a creep hard on imposters.
Singing isn't going to give them something else to look forward
It's
to.
gonna give energy.
Cut the shit and start the pit. I said cut the shit and then start the pit. Let's go to the left and go to the right. What we're going to do first, going to cut the shit and then going to start the
They're
pit.
gonna shit. There's shit. And I'm gonna shit in your mouth.
I'm going to shit in your fucking eye.
I'm gonna slit your throat.
I'm going to open
and
your
shit in the
open
wall.
your fucking eyeball and shit right inside your iris.
This is just, no. This is no. We think this is bringing us back, but this has just gone so much worse.
Do you know what's weird, right?
Yeah.
There is no in between.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm surprised you didn't fall backwards from that far. There is
Yes.
literally, we're either serious or so fucked up it's disturbing.
And this is
The Real Sad Podcast.
brought to you by Billy's Arse.
Billy's also.
Whoa.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
That was decent. That was pretty decent right there.
No, it was decent.
It was pretty decent, bruv,
Have you ever,
in your long-legged life.
in your long and legged life, ever
Yes. Yes.
had a foursome with goats?
Oh, yeah.
You sound very positive.
Oh,
very
yeah.
sure about that.
Well, yeah, I'm a yes-man, isn't I?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I've
Yeah.
got to say yes. But no, I haven't, if I'm honest. I've not had a foursome of goats.
You're just something else, aren't you?
Right.
You're not even English. You're not even Martian.
I told you it's my own language. I wake up in the morning. 7
lot of
a.m.
people-
going to bed in the morning.
It is
That's what I
Friday.
did the other night.
Mm.
Oh, it is Friday.
Yeah, having a real good time.
Yeah. I wonder what Rebecca Black.
My hand is a dolphin.
That was not a dolphin. That was a finger food.
Really?
That was a bird right there.
Have you ever? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. We're
Go
going to
on.
get serious. I know we went from the jokes to the serious, but
Yeah.
how many fingers? Honestly, now, how many fingers?
Ooh,
Come on.
I don't know what to answer.
You know what the answer is. How many fingers?
I'd say go for 3.
Go for 3! Jesus!
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong all this time.
Yeah.
I've been going for 17. I get my toes in there as well.
Sometimes I go for 13.
13's a good round number, actually.
Yeah.
But don't do it on Friday the 13th.
Oh, God. Goodness McGracious. No.
You're asking for troubles there.
No.
No, but for real, how many fingers? How many fingers?
I know what this sounds
How
like.
many
asking
fingers?
me. Fist it.
So you just take all the fingers away and just go straight for a punch.
Yeah, Falcon Punch.
Alright, so guys, next time you're trying to make cookies, use falcon punches, not fingers.
What
Were you
was
talking about
it?
something else?
We're fucking the worst.
Are you talking about fisting?
Oh, yeah, when I said fist it, I was.
Oh, fuck.
But beforehand, I was talking about, like, a bowling ball.
Oh, 3!
That's how many fingers... Yeah, well,
You
you
use
get
a thumb
2...
with
Well,
that.
you know how I told you about the thumb, didn't
That's what... That's what you were fucking talking about. Basically, guys, if you want to do a real... want to do something good for someone else, right? And next time you're bowling, you take 2 fingers, you point them up, and you put them straight in the 2 holes, and you put your thumb in the other one, and you just wiggle it round a bit, you swing back, you go whacking through, and you get a strike, mate. If you're lucky, you'll get a strike. We are, and may not, possibly talking about bowling right now.
I hate myself so much.
You should start a podcast.
I'm actually getting real sad.
Why? You're actually wondering if this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, mate, but this is an absolute shit fest.
Oh, theories doozles.
And look, should we get real for a
Oh,
second?
it's good. It's almost over.
How much time we got left?
About 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Yeah.
I've never not wanted to do a podcast so much. In
I
my
was so
life.
excited to podcast.
So was I. Now, to be honest, it's sounding like we don't want to do this. I have not lost enthusiasm. I just haven't had a coffee.
It's just today.
Goes to show you that if you don't have it in your bloodstream, you also
Don't have it in your love stream.
don't have it in your love stream.
Oh.
3 life lessons with Ryan. This is the segment that we do
Yeah.
every week.
Every week.
First segment.
Mhm.
Don't make friends with someone called Billy Boy.
Billy boy.
Billy Boy is a little twat. He's just going to mess up
He's a
your
little
life.
twiggy to.
That's the first thing. As long as you do that, you're on the road to success. Number 2 is something you do when you've had a lot to eat. Alright? And you need to make sure that you can flush that bad boy. Otherwise, it's going to get clogged up and there's going to be a big mess on the floor. Number 3 is what God made. Grow out of the earth many years ago. Trees are a beautiful thing of nature. It's the tree of life. And there, Ryan's 3 top life lessons of this week.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you give it to me again?
Oh, I'll give it all the way to you. How many fingers do you want? 3? How about 2 fingers and a thumb? Or I could just go straight in with a falcon punch.
Yeah.
Or do you want to call it a falcon fist?
Well.
Falcon punch sounds so good to say. Falcon fist is just, you know what you're fucking in for if you get a falcon fist. Imagine a falcon making a fist and then going,
That's the noise that would be made.
Is 9 minutes over yet?
Yeah, we're done.
What are you more excited for in life, Billy? Failing miserably,
Yeah.
which is what our current status is right now,
Yeah.
or or I wasn't. No, look, mate. I'm trying to think of another bad situation. I've got nothing in me today. I'm trying to talk shit and it's just not working.
So,
Look,
this podcast today has been sponsored by absolutely no one. Because no one would sponsor it.
Usually this is fueled by sponsors giving us that dollar bills.
And that's why this one's not been so great, because nobody sponsored us this time.
So, the reason we made this podcast today
Yeah.
is we want to find new sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Forget Pepsi.
Oh, fucking, ugh.
Forget Charlie Boy.
Ugh.
Don't need him in your life.
Ugh.
Comment what sponsors you want us to have. And even though we won't get them, we can pretend that we do have them.
Yeah.
And then we'll have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Because it's sponsors that keep us going.
Yeah. We've never had a sponsor in our lives,
No.
but let's just keep the ball rolling and say that
If there is
works.
such a ball,
if there's a bowling ball,
2 fingers and a thumb, straight in, right up, straight down the
we are
bowling
the
alley.
worst.
We are the worst.
I think that's where we're gonna wrap it.
We're gonna rippity rap
We're
rock.
gonna rip.
And to tell you how we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh yeah, go
with
on,
a
then, let's
rap.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You got one proposed.
How do you spell podcast?
P-O-D.
No wonder you can't fucking talk. Right, ready? From the top. Shh, pretend that didn't happen. How do you spell podcast, Billy? Go.
P-O-D.
Podcast brought to you by no one. Today we got no one because we got no sponsors. Everybody looking like at the tonsils. Everybody at the birthday do you.
P-O-D.
Pull down your pants and get out your P.O.D.
It's the pick of destiny. It's the
Cast,
P-O-D.
podcast. What we got?
A podcast.
Podcast.
A podcast.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
This
It's a podcast.
This podcast's brought to you by nobody. It's got nothing to do with
Thanks
anything.
for listening.
Thanks for listening.
You can find us on the Twitters.
If you want to hit us up next week, remember to tune in next Wednesday for your weekly waste of time. It's the Real Sad Podcast. Where can they find Ryan James Carter?
They can find Ryan James Carter at YLLIBPARMITER.
And where can they find Yili
They can
Parmeter?
find Yilli Palmer at
RyanJamesCarter. That's the first time I got it right.
That is the one.
That is one. No, this is the 7th.
This is the 7th.
And oh boy, has it
How
been a
many
shit
Harry
one.
Potter books are there?
8 because there's 2 halves.
Right. Well, that's movies, not books.
You just
She
said how many
fucked
books
up.
are there, and I said 8.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, there's 2
7.
parts. J.K. Rowling published 2 books for the
Oh.
last story.
Right.
Yeah. So suck on them titties.
Ryan,
Yeah.
that's a lie.
It's what?
That's a lie.
I know because you just got pranked.
It's April Fool.
Oh,
Isn't it?
it's April fucking
Oh,
Fool.
this is why this one's been terrible, because it's April Fool.
Guys, it's April Fool's.
This isn't a real episode.
This is a real. You're gonna get the real episode up next. Come on, let's film. Should we film?
Next week.
Should we film another one?
Yeah. Right. See you
if that'd be
later.
any better. Oh, and the Real Sad Podcast on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that is.
If
rare.
you don't follow that, we don't follow you.
Oh.
Guys, just
Yes.
if you're ever in doubt, just make them all wet.
Oh no.
2 fingers straight up. Put 1 thumb in. Make that little bit wet as well, and then
No.
swing your arm back and follow through straight down the bowling alley. You'll get a strike. Trust me. If that doesn't work, I don't know what will. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Eat a dick, bruv.
That's really rude.
Back off.